Hey guys, welcome back. I just wanted to, I'm working on this K7000 monitor for Kangaroo. I did the cap kit already. I need to change the flyback, the hot transistor. When I took it out of the game, the fuse was blown. So the fuse is blown for a reason, because something went wrong. The hot is, I believe, is also shorted out, the hot transistor, but looking closely, which I'll show you better once I get it out, flyback is cracked right along here. So my guess is the flyback broke, probably took out this hot transistor and the fuse all at once. So chances are, if you have a monitor and the fuse is blown usually for a reason. Something else is going wrong. So just sticking another fuse in there is not going to do you any good. So now I want to take out this flyback and we'll pop in the new one. See how much of a pain this is going to be. Get a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, they should be all desoldered. Maybe this one's not. I think we're out. Probably gonna have to take this bracket off right here. I gotta clean this place up. Literally just fixing one game after the next. Okay, there's our flyback. Now we have to cut these zip ties. I'm just going to cut this for right now, and then we'll take that apart so that we can put the new flyback wire into there. See that? Cracked right along there. Never made any noises or anything, but it was having a focus issue, and I guarantee that's why. So that's garbage. We got our new one here. So we're gonna go ahead and get this popped into the board. You know what, let's take out this transistor. Let's check it with the meter and see what it does. Because it's gonna be easier to do this now than when the flyback's in there. Okay, I did order more of these, so here's a new one right here. I already got it out. It's a D1398. So we're going to test the new one first. So we're going to take our negative, we're going to put it on the center. Then we're going to test the right leg, and it comes out at 0.570. Test the left leg, 0.543. Okay, let's check the one that was in the chassis. That side reads okay. Okay, it's probably okay. I tried to test it in the chassis and it wasn't working. I've had luck sometimes testing them in the chassis, sometimes I can't. Let's just put a new one in. Just keep that off to the side. I'll hang on to it. Last resort. I have more of them over there, new ones. But let's throw this in. I'm going to be building a workbench area in my storage room to be able to do all this stuff, have everything set up permanently. And I'll do some videos on that when I get to that. I think it'd be kind of cool. I'm going to try to find a 13-inch CRT monitor that I can use for a test monitor. I almost forgot my thermal paste. There's still one of those plastic things on there, but I'm just going to put some paste on here, cover up this metal real good. I'm going to show you what's going on with Tapper 2. I think it's figured out. Waiting on some parts for that. Jeffrey helped me out once again last night, telling me what to look for. Always bolt your stuff in before you solder it. If you have big fingers, it's kind of hard to do this. A transistor leg fell on the board when I grabbed my screwdriver. That's another thing you got to be careful of, that type of stuff happening and you not notice it, and you turn it on, and then all of a sudden you shorted out a bunch of stuff. I always take the chassis and shake it all around both ways, make sure that there's nothing sitting on it. Okay, that's back in. So now we could drop the fly back down. Sometimes these can be challenging, especially if they come with the prongs a little bent. You could have an issue trying to line up all the holes sometimes. Okay, right in there. So now we can solder this in and our transistor, which is right here. Put a lot of solder on these just like they came off. It's like a big, nice pool of solder. Okay, if you look at all the flyback terminals, you can see how it's got a nice pool of solder around them like it did when I took it out. Okay, so now we have that and the transistor soldered back in. Last thing we need to do is hook up the red wire to the neck board and this gray wire, which I threw the thing away, to this plug end here. I wonder if I can reuse this plug end or not. Maybe. I haven't done one flyback in a while, so I'm a little rusty here. I got to figure out. I forget. I know that this piece of plastic pops off. Piece of plastic's stuck on there well. There we go. Okay, these are easy. These ones are easy. Just an easy solder. Make sure you slide your plastic cover through here first. Take your regular soldering iron, get this hot. There's a little hole in the for the wire to go through, and then you fold it over. I did cut this wire, the ground wire that goes from the neck board to the tube, so we'll just splice it together. You could desolder it from the board. Okay, so last thing is the connector. We could put a new one on probably. I don't know if I have one. I don't really want to splice it. Need to see if I can get this out of here. It's small though. I don't think I have a tool to get this one out. I think you got to slide something in the flat part. All right, I was able to yank it out. Should have one of these pins, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna solder it on. I don't know that I have a pin. So I got it crimped on there enough. Man, do I have a mess. Got it. So that's just an easier way to do it. Well, not an easier way, but a way to do it if you don't happen to have one of the pins. So now we're hooked back in. So basically now I can go put this back into the game and we could fire it up and see what it does. Oh, fuse, I need a fuse. This is a 1.5 amp slow blow fuse. So let me grab one of those and then we'll go put this in the game. Well, I found another problem. Went to go put the fuse in and this one side's broke. And I'll bet you that's what was part of the problem too, because the monitor was shutting on and off on me. And I'll bet you this was making contact, losing contact. So of course I don't think I have any of these, but I have this fuse holder here. I wonder if I can take one of these metal things out of here and somehow attach it to the board, because I do not think I have any of these. I'm trying to think where I would even have them if I did have some. Let me see if I can get this off first. I turn my desoldering iron off. I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to go look and make sure I don't have one of those. If not, I got an idea actually. I might have some somewhere off, but I don't know offhand, and I don't really feel like looking right now. So we're going to try something different here. We're going to see if we can break off both sides. Leave that metal tab on the circuit board. This is just trying to show you different ways to fix something if you don't have the parts and you want to get something up and running. So let's take this metal out of here. And don't throw it away because you still have another good side. Let's get rid of this tab here. This is where you would hook a wire up to it. might break my cutters here. Didn't break them. Okay, if you look here, there's a hole in the center. Let's see if we can solder this to that down there. First I want to do is put some solder on that. Okay, it's not wanting to stick yet. Let's scratch it up. Some residue on it. Okay. Let it cool. There you go. It's really on there. So now we have a fuse that we can put back in here. I'm gonna clean this side real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go get it bolted into the cabinet, or put it into the cabinet, and then we will turn it on camera and see if we get a working monitor or not. Okay, it's all back in here. I forgot I had to put this screw back in here because this holds this bracket that transistor's on, and this bracket kind of goes around the flyback. Everything's hooked up. I'm getting ready to power it on for the first time. So let's bring the camera around front and see if we get the monitor to turn on. All right, let's get it plugged in. Don't know if I hear anything yet. Okay, cool. Sweet. All right, so we have, clearly the screen brightness is way too high. I don't know if the game is not powered on. We're not getting any power, I don't think, to the game. Okay, so we have a game issue still too. Oh, no we don't. I forgot to plug in the video wire, so let me do that real quick. Can we turn it off? Gotta plug in the... I gotta go answer that real quick. Okay, let's turn it back on, see if we get anything. Okay, brightness is still up too high. I don't know if the game is powering on, to be honest with you. Not starting. I think I have an issue with this audio board, or this power supply. I don't think we're getting 5 volts. I think we have a power supply issue. Yay! More stuff to fix. If you look real quick, the Atari row is almost back together. Once Kangaroo's fixed, knock on wood, all 5 of these should be working. I'm pretty sure we have I don't think we're getting 5 volts. Okay. First things first, let's check our fuses. Okay, fuses are good. So now we're going to check for 5 volts. I'm going to have to get a light. I can't see in here. All right. No, don't play with that. All right, let's power it on. I just heard what that was. .3 volts. And this power supply looks pretty messed up. Like just filthy. Okay, we're only putting out 1.3 volts. So now I'm gonna have to rebuild this power supply. Make sure we don't have a connection issue. We have a connection issue. We got a plug over here that I wiggled. Let's see if it's doing anything. Still nothing. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull that power supply out and work on that now. Okay. I was able to check these transistors and they're all good. But I'll bet you this LM305 is bad. So we're gonna pop that out, and I got the wrong tip in here. I got the big tip in here. Let me see if it'll work or not. Probably gonna have to let this thing cool down and put the smaller tip on. But I have more LM305s. Here's one. Here's a couple right here. Don't know exactly how to test these ones. I'm pretty sure the ground is that little nipple that sticks out the end. That's where your ground lead goes. Okay. When I do it on here, it's beeping. So I think it might be shorted out, but I'm not positive. So I gotta let this cool off, switch out the tip so that we can get that out of there, replace that, and then we'll go put it back in and see if we're getting 5 volts. I definitely had to wiggle this plug around though, so I gotta check these connectors in here. They look a little dusty and dirty. I'm gonna spray a little deoxit in here while I'm working on this other stuff. Okay, at some point somebody has reflowed all these pins, and I was just checking them with the multimeter and they all look to be good. If they're giving you a hard time, take a little solder and put solder back in it and then try it again. You could also cut the legs too. Can't really touch this thing because it gets hot. It's metal. Alright, I wonder if we can test this thing. That one that was beeping was to the right of the tab. See if it beeps when it's out. No, it does not. Okay, well, let's put a new one in. If it's not that, it's probably the freaking bridge rectifier like it was on the other game. I do have a cap kit. I can recap this if I want to. Kind of curious to see if I just leave it, if it ends up going bad over time or not. Probably not. These are a pain to get in. Okay, I got the power supply back in there. It's not screwed into the cabinet. I just plugged it in. I think I'm gonna probably have to mess with that one plug on the end there. It's definitely a little finicky. But let's see if we get anything on the screen now. I gotta turn that brightness down on that flyback. Got a yellow screen. Nothing yet. Can't tell if there's something on the screen or not. It's not pointing up. Check voltages again. Now we're at 5.1 volts. So we are getting voltage now. So why is the game not powering on? Just have a board issue or something. That's strange. .1. Red and white is our 5 volts. Let's make sure we're getting it. You know what? Let's check the chip at the board. Yep, we got 5.1 at the board. So I have something going on with my board set. Clearly getting power going to the board now, which we were not before. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna have to mess with this for a little bit and see what I come up with. Okay, I detached the ribbon cable and reattached it, and it's on now. What was also wrong is my yoke wire is upside down. Somebody had cut the yoke plug into 2. They cut it in half and they flipped it for some reason. I don't know why. This is the monitor that was in the cabinet, so clearly the monitor must be in backwards or something stupid. So I gotta switch the yoke wire around. But other than that, I gotta adjust the screen in. Obviously it's way too bright. Focus is off. Adjustments are off. I'm curious. I'm gonna switch that yoke wire around, then we'll turn it back on and see if it actually powers on again. Okay, let's turn it back on. I switched the yellow and green around, flipped them. That must be why that was cut, that plug. I didn't pay attention to it when I pulled it out because I thought it was all one plug. When I pulled it out, I realized it was 2 separate pieces. First, hopefully the game powers on too. All right, so now we got, okay, it is gonna power on because I could see the writing down there. And I think I'm still backwards. Okay, so it was not the green and red. I'm sorry, the green and yellow need to be put back the way they were. I need to flip the red and the blue because now my writing is backwards. So let me turn it back off again. Okay, take 3. Make sure you guys never switch the yellow and green for the red and blue, because if you do that, you're gonna have a problem. And now it looks like we're not booting up. No, it is. Okay. Still backwards. What the hell? I got it going the right way now. I gotta switch the red and, or the yellow and green back the way it was. See if that's right now. Got it. So these are the things that you run into because people do stuff to these monitors in these games and you just don't always know. And I didn't know that those 2 were cut because when I pulled it out, they fell apart. So I put them back in the way they should have went, but clearly that is not correct. I don't know what adjustments I'm making right now because I don't, can't see the remote board. Okay, our focus is off. I think the flyback is up too high still. So let me turn the flyback down. That should get rid of those green vertical lines, should go away once the flyback goes down. There they go. Those are now gone. It's actually looking pretty damn good. It's a little out of focus. Getting there. That's looking real good. Real good. I'm not going to play this one on camera. I completely suck at this one. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It looks a little bit too bright, maybe. Tone it down a hair. Okay, that flyback is still up a little too high because I just turned that dial down all the way and it's still pretty bright. So when you get these flybacks, you never know how they're adjusted. I mean, the dials could be anywhere. All right, that looks pretty darn good there. I don't know that you guys can get a good view of it. It's going to look a little washed out on the camera, but it actually looks really good. So, not convinced that this game is completely fixed yet. Yes, it's working right now, but clearly I had to screw with some stuff to get it to work. So, I'm going to do a little bit more investigating on that board and make sure that that one plug on that power supply is going to be okay. I did spray that deoxit in it, so that definitely must have helped. But another one just about ready to go back in its place, and then I'll be able to turn on all the Atari games again, and we'll have them up and running. The only thing left to do on this row, once I do a little bit more investigating on this, is to change out that screen bezel cardboard thing on the pole position, and then hopefully, knock on wood, this row should be done for a long while. So thanks for watching, guys. Just want to let you know that we got another one up and running. I never did a video on putting a flyback in, so I figured I would just do it real quick. It looks really good. I wish I can get, let me try to turn off a couple lights down here. Maybe that'll help. Just camera just doesn't do it justice. The colors are really good and vibrant. Black is nice and black. Everything looks good. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys later.